On June 26, 2010, in the historic town of Selma, Alabama, 17-year-old Tarasha Pooh Benjamin left home for a normal Saturday errand and vanished without a trace. No warning and still no answers. Today, we shine light on the disappearance of Tarasha Benjamin. Born on September 16, 1992, to parents Claude Chandler and Regina Benjamin, Tarasha Nicole Benjamin was the youngest child in her family. Everyone called her Pooh, a nickname she proudly embraced. Family and friends described Tarasha as friendly, outgoing, and bubbly. She loved spending time with family, enjoyed visiting a local flea market, and was known for her warm, kind-hearted spirit. Tarasha grew up in Selma, Alabama, a small southern town with enormous historical weight. Selma is remembered as the heart of the civil rights movement, home to the iconic 1965 Selma to Montgomery March, and a symbol to Black resilience, struggle, and triumph in America. A close-knit community where most families knew one another. And Tarasha was no exception. She was well-known, well-liked, and rooted in her hometown. But like many small rural communities, Selma still faces challenges familiar to many southern towns. Limited resources, economic hardship, and cases involving missing Black women that too often fail to receive consistent media attention or investigative urgency. By the time Tarasha disappeared, this family had already endured more grief than most could bear. In 1996, tragedy struck when two of Tarasha's siblings passed away in a house fire, a loss that forever scarred the family. Then in 2009, just 1 year before Tarasha's disappearance, her father went missing. The community searched for him for weeks until his body was eventually found. Very few details about his case has ever been publicly disclosed, yet nothing could prepare them for the sudden and painful, mysterious disappearance of Tarasha, a case without answers, without closure, and one that still haunts Selma to this day. Saturday, June 26, 2010, started like any other weekend morning. Tarasha planned to visit the Selma flea market, something she did almost every Saturday. She left her mother's home sometime between 9 and 9:30 a.m. Regina remembers watching her daughter walk out the door, expecting her to return later that day, just as she always did. But almost immediately after Tarasha left, Regina felt something she couldn't shake, a deep, unsettling intuition. She would later state, "For some reason, I felt something, a feeling in my body that something was wrong." Tarasha left home with a young woman named Tarasha, a friend who lived just down the street. The two got into an SUV that belonged to Tarasha. According to Regina, the two said they were going to the flea market together. But somewhere along the way, those plans changed. Before reaching the flea market, Tarasha reportedly stopped at a yard sale, where she briefly saw a relative who borrowed her phone to make a call. After that moment, her trail begins to blur. At around 11 a.m., Regina stated she tried to call her daughter, but every call went straight to voicemail. That's when panic set in. She reached out to family and friends, hoping someone had seen or heard from Tarasha. Teresa, a family friend, later reported seeing Tarasha around 10:30 a.m. on Small Avenue. She says she saw Tarasha driving an SUV and that Tarasha appeared to be alone. Then came the phone call that changed everything. Regina called a cousin, describing the vehicle Tarasha left in. The cousin told her they had seen an SUV matching that description, sitting on the side of Cecil Jackson Bypass, not far from Selma Flea Market. But they didn't see Tarasha, and the vehicle was empty. Around 1 p.m., Talisha returned to Regina's home without Tarasha. She asked where her vehicle was, explaining that she had something to do and ended up not going to the flea market, and that she had let Tarasha borrow the vehicle, saying that she assumed Tarasha would be back by then. This only intensified Regina's fear. Her daughter always checked in. They spoke multiple times a day. Silence wasn't normal. It was alarming. Regina rushed to the location her cousin described, and there it was, the SUV Tarasha left in, sitting abandoned along the bypass. But there was no sign of Tarasha, and her cell phone was gone. It was just sitting on the side of the road. No one was in it. Now I'm thinking something happened, Regina recalled. Police were quickly notified and responded to the abandoned SUV on Cecil Jackson Bypass. The vehicle, which was a gray Mazda Tribute, was only minutes away from the flea market. But what stood out immediately was how strange the scene looked, and the location raised immediate alarm. A busy roadway, close to the flea market, yet isolated enough for something to happen and go unnoticed. The SUV was facing the opposite direction of traffic, almost as if it had been turned around intentionally. 2 windows on the driver's side were missing, and the driver's door handle was broken. Inside, it looked like someone had gone through the car, as if the contents had been rummaged through. For investigators and her family, the abandoned vehicle raised only more questions and provided very few answers. Whether Tarasha ever reached the flea market remains unknown. Tarasha Benjamin was 17 years old at the time of her disappearance. She was about 5'2", around 125 pounds, with black shoulder-length hair and brown eyes. She also had a tattoo of her nickname, Pooh, on her upper right arm, and was known for occasionally wearing colored contact lenses. She had pierced ears and spoke in a loud, confident voice. On the day she disappeared, Tarasha was last seen wearing a lime, turquoise, and white striped shirt, blue jean shorts, silver gladiator sandals, and possibly a silver necklace. From the very beginning, Tarasha's case was surrounded by confusion, missing information, and unsettling gaps. The last person she was reportedly with returned without her. The SUV she borrowed was found abandoned on the highway, but no one saw what happened, and no one could explain why she wasn't inside it. There were no obvious signs of struggle, no footprints, no discarded items, and no phone to track. And no public surveillance footage captured her route that morning. It was as if Tarasha had simply vanished without a trace. As hours passed, hope turned to panic. Family, friends, and volunteers immediately began searching, knocking on doors, checking hospitals, combing through nearby woods and fields, and pleading for anyone with any information to come forward. But the first night came and went with no signs of Tarasha. Her mother, Regina, knew something was terribly wrong. She later shared, "I kept thinking, where is she? Someone knows something." For her family, every second wasn't just passing. It felt like time was slipping away. Many critics argued that Tarasha's case didn't receive the urgency it deserved. Like too many cases involving missing Black women, this one appeared to be dismissed early, even treated like a possible runaway situation. No Amber Alert, no immediate press conferences, no rapid statewide or nationwide mobilization. As frustration grew, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children eventually sent a search and rescue team to Selma. But even that effort turned up nothing. Regina dedicated herself to keeping her daughter's name alive, contacting news outlets, posting on social media, organizing searches, and never giving up. Talisha, the friend Tarasha left home with and the owner of the SUV, has never been charged in connection with her disappearance. It is also unknown whether she's ever been considered a suspect. Throughout the years, there were occasional unconfirmed sightings in Selma and in Florida, and family members traveled multiple times to chase down each lead, but every time they came home without answers. Authorities have stated they do not believe Tarasha is still in the local area. Some believe she may have been a victim of human trafficking. Others fear someone close to her may have been involved. But without evidence, the truth remains unknown and her case is still unsolved. In September 2023, tragedy struck again. Regina Benjamin passed away at just 52 years old, on what would have been Tarasha's 31st birthday. She passed away still searching, still hoping, and still believing her daughter would one day come home. She leaves behind 2 daughters, a son, and a community still waiting for justice. Even today, the silence surrounding this case is deafening. Too many questions remain unanswered. Too many details remain undisclosed. Tarasha Pooh Benjamin was loved. She was known, she mattered, and she still does. Though many years has passed, her name remains on missing person databases like the Charlie Project and the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Her face, her story, and her spirit continue to live through the hearts of those who refuse to forget her. Somewhere out there, someone knows what happened to Tarasha Benjamin. If you have any information about her disappearance, please contact the Selma Police Department. I pray that the Benjamin family receives the answers and the peace they so deeply deserve. And I pray that one day Tarasha is brought home. No story should be forgotten, no voice should go unheard. Until the next time, I'm Lock Jewel, and thank you for watching Shades of Crime. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and remember to pray. God's listening.